and we'll bend the front knee to come back to standing.
Meet Annette de Paz. Annette's teaching a class at her studio, Escape to Yoga, in Sherwood, Oregon. You wouldn't know it by looking at her, but Annette is actually a land surveyor by trade. When the construction industry tanked in the Great Recession, Annette found herself without a job and with no future in her chosen occupation. So Annette, like thousands of others, filed for unemployment. And that's when her future began to brighten considerably.
When my position was eliminated, I did go into the employment office and start to get oriented as to what that process is all about. And at some point in that time, I discovered the Self-Employment Assistance Program.
Pat Sanderlin helps run the Self-Employment Assistance Program, or SEA for short, for the state of Oregon. Normally, Pat says, an unemployed person must constantly look for work, time that someone could spend better starting a business of their own.
We can either pay them to look for jobs they're not going to get, or get out of their way and let them start a job, or start their own job.
Pat says that, like Annette, a person has to be unlikely to find a job in their industry. Annette had to complete a detailed business plan, but after she qualified, she did not have to look for work and continued to receive unemployment benefits while she was working on and then starting her business.
Well, if I had not had the Self-Employment Assistance Program, in order to continue to receive unemployment payments, which I really needed because I was out of work for the first time in almost 10 years, I would have had to continue looking for a job. And that would have taken away quite a lot of time and focus from my true mission, which was to create my own job. So we'll start by taking the left knee.
In April of 2012, Annette opened Escape to Yoga. But the really great part of this story is that it isn't just a job for one person. Annette manages the studio and teaches 6 to 8 classes a week, but also employs 8 other instructors part-time. That makes the SEA program as much economic development as a way to get just one person off unemployment.
There's a real multiplier effect here, which is something that people really don't think about.
But Annette says, make no mistake, the SEA program is not for everyone. It's hard work, 18-hour days most of the time. But she doesn't mind the trade-offs.
So on the one hand, I'm free, but on the other hand, I'm also tied down because I have a lot more responsibility. And now I have employees that are relying on me to pay their paychecks, and I have, a landlord who is relying on me to pay the rent. So it's more freedom, but less.
In the nearly 20 years it's been in existence, the SEA program has helped start thousands of businesses, some of which now employ hundreds of people. And though it costs the state of Oregon relatively little to administer, it's amazing that only 5 or 6 other states even have a similar program.
So we'll start at the beginning of the mat, in our mountain.
Annette de Paz is glad Oregon is one of those states.
We'll step back with the left foot for Warrior One position.
In Sherwood, Oregon, I'm Tom Fuller reporting.